Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday, May the 16th, and I ran 5.5 miles. So I did 1 mile warm-up, stretch, jog, 2 miles MAF, which is Maffetone pace. You can Google that, the Professor Maffetone. It keeps your heart rate very low. So, for example, my age, 55, 180 minus 55, so I don't really want to go much over 25 beats a minute. So that was 3 miles. Then I did 1 mile of intervals. So that's like your anaerobic system. So quarter of a mile sprints right up to heart rate 170, and then walked it back, jogged back, and I did 3 or 4 of them to maintain my anaerobic system. And then 1 mile tempo, which I sort of kept in about the 940s for about half a mile of it, and then the rest about 10, 15. So I've definitely getting quicker. I'm on training week 4 now with proper persistent training. So that's what you need when you're running 3, 4, 5 runs a week, a lot of it in easy pace, the 80-20 rule, and you will see improvement, which I did when I trained for London a few years ago. But it's that regular running that you've got to be doing, mainly at that easy pace. So if you look at the stats, again, I'm not racing for Strava, I'm training. So average pace was 12 minute and 8 miles. You know, if I wanted to run 5.5 miles at a tempo, a fast pace, I could probably do it at the moment due to my regular training around about the 10:30s, 10:15s without getting injured. But if you go out racing for Strava, this is what happens. So moving time 1 hour and 8, so I'm on my feet most of the time. 40 odd minutes of that run was at easy pace, so time on my feet. Wasn't hilly, it's in the park, but it's on the grass, which is good. Slows you down a bit, but a little bit softer. And my average heart rate 133. So again, that's been a training run. I've done 1 mile at sort of tempo, whereas I could have done the 5.5 miles at tempo with no warm-up, no cool-down, no training. All that would happen is I'd plateau, and over the years I get slightly slower, injured now and again, frustrated, slightly slower, so you're not getting anything. So this 80-20 and proper training is the secret to improvement, especially when you're old like me at 55. And again, look, this is the minute mile pace. It doesn't really matter because it was training, so you're stopping, walking, jogging. But if you see mile 5, it says 10:52s, but across the crossover between mile 4 and mile 5.5, it doesn't reflect on that minute mile. But you only really want to be looking at this if you're doing a 5k race, a 10k race, or you're doing a fast run. So here's the totals then. So last week's results, this is up to Sunday, I did a total of 29 miles running and total of cycling on Strava upstairs 52 miles. So it's quite a good week volume of training really. I still need to up it a bit. And then just following now, you will see the 3 weeks totals of running. So it shows distance, yeah. So 3 weeks ago I did 26 total miles on Strava. The week after 27 miles. And then obviously this week 29, so I need to this week really cut back my mileage a little bit to allow results. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of my running. I'll be running again the rest of this week, so please look out for that. Like, subscribe, and tick the notifications bell so you know when I'm going to next be running. Any comments or anything else you'd like at this channel, please let me know. Have a great day. Thank you. And the Amazon link for the Maffetone book, which is very interesting, is in the description below. Thank you. 25, it's the 16th of May, so I'm going off for a little recovery type run. I ran Sunday 11 miles, the most I've run this year. Still sore, felt awful yesterday. So this run will be just a 3 or 4 mile, very easy recovery pace and a couple of miles at tempo. So see you on the way back. So on the Zwift again, set up, quick cycling today. I did 65 minutes tempo range. I won't go to the stats too much because I'm not focusing on cycling at the moment, but you know, I'm trying to keep the mileage up. As I say, I'm a stronger cyclist, but so I did always a warm-up 10 minutes, then I did some low heart rate stuff for sticking to the 80-20 rule. And after about 40 minutes, I did some high tempo work with heart rate in the 150s, 155, then some intervals taking my heart rate up to 170. So that 65 minutes gives you a mixture of aerobic and anaerobic and keeps my cycling fitness up to date. Hello YouTubers. Right, so running. Just got back. I did 6.10 mile. I had empty stomach, just a coffee this morning, well two, a bit of water, and I ran it more tempo paced now. So, because of week 4 of my sort of proper constructive regular training, 4 runs a week, about 30 mile a week. So it was good today. I'll show you the stats later. So, but warmed up 1 mile easy, sort of 2 to 3 miles intervals and tempo work, keeping my heart rate around the 150. So my average heart rate, you'll see, is around about 140 for the run, which is a lot higher than normal. But 1 mile of it, with average heart rate was 120. And then the second mile was heart rate 130, so that brings the average down. But then the other 4 miles, it was into the 150s up to the 170s. So that's the sort of run you want to do once a week. Still training, still not just going out there running for Strava to show your mates. Not worrying about having a 12-minute mile run, because really, I could go out there and bash out an 8:30 probably for 5k now. Not today, but by the weekend. But what would be the point? Because you're taking a while to recover from that. So it's constructive training. You're not racing. If you book a 5k, then race, and then it looks great. People think, how's he running 12-minute miles on average, and suddenly he's done an 8:30? He must be cheating. But that's part of training. Then the adaptations happen. Otherwise, you're just plateauing, and your fault is trying to run 8:30s, but getting slower and slower, injuries. Then you're in the 8s, the 9s, and you give up and get fat. Whereas you've got to accept when you're in your 50s, you're not going to gain a lot of speed, but you're just going to build that aerobic base and that stamina and all the other benefits that come with running. So I'll update this later. So Sunday the 21st, 11:30. So I've just done a 12-mile run, and I've done some chins, so a bit of resistance work on my chest and my back and biceps, and some stretching. Obviously 12-mile long, easy run, massive improvements now. I'll analyse that later in the weekly summary. And cold bath 3 or 4 times a week. I still struggle having the cold bath first thing in the morning. Coffee's my choice, but I still love this. It's harder to do not after exercise, but after a long run, it's amazing once you've got the 2 minutes. Yeah, the buzz is great from it, so I'm going to lifelong with it, not just the 30-day challenge, 3 or 4 times a week, cold immersion. I do have a hot bath after sometimes if I'm sort of feeling tired, because you do struggle with it for the first couple of hours, but it depends how long you stay in. But it's just 2 or 3 minutes is enough. I normally do about 10. So, yeah, good. So you can see the week of 15th through the 21st of May, I've cut my running right back. My virtual ride was 19 miles and my total running was 23 miles. So this week, starting on the 22nd, I should increase my distance of running again, because I feel like I've recovered, and the stats show that I've recovered. Hope you like my video. Don't forget the Maffetone book, links in the description below. And I'll be posting regular fitness updates as we progress. Hopefully going to do an half ultra soon, which will be a 30-mile long run. Thank you.